How's it going? Strife here, and this is the walkthrough for CM Path 1. So my old CM videos, they're pretty old, and I know they can be done quite a bit faster and more efficiently. We didn't use a lot of the strategies that we would normally use, so I wanted to redo these. But as you can see, so what we did is when we activated the path vote, we just talked to the Asura in that room. And then you're just going to interact with these pieces of Asuran technology on the floor. Once you press your interact button, the NPC will come over and blow them up. So once we get that first piece, this door to the basement will open. What we're going to do is we're going to go right here first. So our Guardian's going to run in the room, aggro all the mobs, and again we're just going to LOS on this corner to group them up and DPS them down. You want to try and focus on the cut purse mobs first. The cut purses, they are thief type mobs, so they're going to put bleeding stacks and poison stacks on you. They can build bleeding up pretty quickly, so it can get rather damaging. So you do want some condition removal. And then you'll see in this room here is another piece of technology, so I'm just going to interact on it. And you actually don't need to stand by it. You can just press your interact button once and the NPC will run over. So I'm going to actually use that in this upcoming room. Once we finish these mobs off, I'm going to equip a shield here. And then I'm actually just going to run through. You can see on the minimap there's two pieces in this hallway. I ran past that first piece, just used my interact button, and you can see it got blown up by the NPC. And same thing for that second piece. I use my interact button and I'll just keep running and you'll see shortly that it will blow up as well. So that way you can just run through that room and go to the other side, which is why we did the right path first. Then in here you want to dodge in that hallway because there are riflemen and a bomberman at the end of the hall. So you don't want to get shot by them, obviously. The person who's targeted by the rifleman, you can see it had the red target around myself, which means I was targeted, so you just want to wait about a second and a half and then dodge. And then again, double dodge through that hallway just so you don't get beat down. And there are also net turrets, as you saw, at the end of the hallway, so they can trap you there as well, which is another reason why you want to double dodge. So this room has 3 archers. They're rather annoying. They don't do a ton of damage, but they put, or they evade and they block a lot for whatever reason. So it can take a while to kill them sometimes, depending on how much they evade and block your attacks. And once we clear this room, you can see we can actually hit the bomber and the rifleman in the hall through the wall. So we'll just do that on the first 2, then go out and kill this last one. For the last 2 pieces of technology in this room, you can just go up to them and press use. There is a boss in that room, but you don't need to fight him. It's going to be the same boss that you fight in Path 3, so I'll talk about him more on that walkthrough. But as you can see, just blow up the last 2 technology pieces and we can run forward into this barn for the actual first boss. In this room, we want to leave one person in the video cutscene. What that's going to do is, so it looks like I can equip my mace there, having some trouble, but what that's going to do is the person who stays in the cutscene, these mobs up here, they don't spawn until that person gets out of the cutscene. So by doing that, we can actually send 4 people up to the top of the barn and set up to kill all these riflemen up here. If you don't do that, then obviously you're going to have to run up here while a bunch of mobs are shooting at you, which is more difficult. And then once you clear the mobs up there, you can just go straight down and kill this boss. So this boss is a bomb type mob, and it also kicks you and knocks you back. Obviously doesn't do very much damage. So you do want some reflects because you can reflect his bombs, which are the red circles on the ground. And then if you do have stability, like in your time warp, you can use that as well so you don't get knocked out and lose DPS during time warp. But as you can see, overall he's pretty easy. If you don't have reflects, just dodge the red circles. If you do have reflects, you can just stand there and DPS him. Alright, so up in this next room, we're going to have another group of mobs. We're actually going to stand here and LOS them. So let me go get my banner real quick. This pack of mobs, it looks like a lot, but there's only 2 silver mobs in them. The rest are normal, so they die rather quickly. You can see there's this new enemy type, the Bandit Thug. You do want to focus those as well because they put healing and boons on the rest of the enemy party. Then once you burn him down, you can finish off this Saboteur who just throws bombs to knock you down, which is why we used that wall of reflection earlier. So once that group's cleared, we're going to have to run through this hallway. At the end of this hallway here, it can be rather difficult. There are 3 riflemen and a bomber. So you can see our Mesmer there took a lot of shots. If you put up feedback, it's going to help mitigate the net turret immobilizing you and the bomber throwing his bombs. So then we can just run up here. Once you're up here, it's a lot more easy because you can just stand still and kill the rifle and the bomber. And then of course if you have cleave, you can DPS them a lot quicker as well. So once that's clear, we're going to come into this room and we're already at the second boss of this path. So Bloody Victoria is a thief type mob. She's pretty easy overall. Outside of her stealth attack, she's just going to do a single target melee attack. So when she does stealth, which you saw there, she is going to target one person while in stealth. And then she's going to pop out of stealth. She can do 1 of 2 attacks. She's going to do a Death Blossom type move, which is going to put like 6 to 12 stacks of bleeding on a person. As long as you have condition removal, it's not too big a deal. The other attack she can do is when she comes out of stealth, she's going to stun one person, then do a charge up attack. So you do want to have a stun breaker because her charge up attack, it will one-shot you, even like on a Guardian with toughness. So you do want to stun break and then dodge out of that. The good thing is it is single target, so if someone does get down still, you still have time to res them, and her auto attacks are single target, so even if you are having some trouble dodging, that boss overall is pretty easy because you can just keep resing down people with the single target attacks. So in this next room, we're going to do a running sequence. We just all want to group up and we're going to run into this room. You can see there's this huge pack of mobs. They're all like normal mobs for the most part, but we're just going to end up running by them. As long as you use your double dodges and if you need to, like any invulnerable moves you have or dash moves, it's pretty easy to get by them. And then once we jump off that ledge, we're pretty much home free. We're going to come into this little room down here. And the reason being is we have to fight initially 2 riflemen, which are coming right now, and then 4 more will spawn. So they'll all actually run in here and we can just LOS them on this corner. And riflemen, as you may have seen, they're pretty easy once they get into melee range. So we'll just stand here and DPS the other 4 that come in. Alright, so once those are dead, you can pick up another chest here. And we're almost towards the last boss. We just need to clear out this next room. So first there are 2 roaming mobs in the hallway. Just burn them down. You can see there's that archer. It has a bunch of blocks that it's channeling right now, so that can get kind of annoying sometimes. And then once we kill those 2 roaming mobs, you just want to send your guardian into that room. And you'll aggro a big pack. It's similar to the pack we killed after the first boss. There's going to be 2 silver mobs and a bunch of trash mobs. You're going to get knocked down a lot, so it is good to have your guardian cast stability there, stand your ground, so you can just DPS them all without getting interrupted. And then once we kill that group, we can all just run into this room. We're going to go up along this catwalk above us, up this ramp here. There's going to be 2 more. They're called enforcers now, but they're just riflemen still. And we'll clear them out, and then we'll actually run over to the last boss room from up here. We can jump off and bypass a couple more groups of mobs. So that's what we're going to do up here. You're just going to group up, jump off here. You can double dodge just so you don't get put in combat, just in case, if you do see the mobs attacking you. And then we're going to jump off the ledge and swim under the water. Once you get back to this wall right here underwater, you'll actually leash everything and get out of combat, and then we can just go straight to the last boss. Alright, so after this cutscene, 3 rocket turrets are going to spawn. You just want to focus those down first. if you do have ranged weapons, you can actually kill all 3 turrets before even aggroing the boss. Since we're running melee, we're just going to go in here on the 2nd turret, aggro him, burn this one down rather quickly, and then our Guardian will actually pull him away from us while we kill this 3rd one. So once all the rocket turrets are dead, Frost himself is actually pretty easy. He only has one main attack, which is, well, he really only has one attack, which is his Frost Flamethrower. It's going to do damage, obviously, and then put chilling on you. The good thing is, as you can see, when he channels it, he doesn't move and follow you. So unlike the flamethrower mobs in COF or like the End of the Snow fractal, this guy you can just dodge and constantly move around and you won't take too much damage. If you do stand still in like in 100 blades or something, you can see you are going to take damage like our warrior on the ground over there. And then these golems do spawn throughout the fight. If you melee, you're just going to cleave them down. If you're ranged, you can just kite them and focus on Frost because they will despawn when he dies. So that is it for CM Path 1, and thanks for watching.